Hi there, my name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie into an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer, or the kids' room, or the garage. That's how we've been doing it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way. Thank you for your partnership in this ministry. I appreciate every single one of you. And most importantly, thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You, my friend, are rocking it. Thank you. Now, this is for the 10th Sunday after Pentecost, and we're looking at both the second reading and the gospel, which are not easy things to do for a children's sermon. So I've got two springboards, two springboards with a couple of references to older ones as well, older Dollar Store children's sermons. So first, for the second reading and the cloud of witnesses. So cloud of witnesses and running the race. So for running the race, bring your tennis shoes, lace up your tennis shoes to say that you're getting ready for this race, that we are going into this and we're ready to run the race, and we've got, so just using the tennis shoes and connecting that. Now, this is definitely springboard time. I just got back from a week at a magic convention in Las Vegas called Magic Live, which was amazing. But I'm just getting all those kind of things, getting these things running and going. So, tennis shoes, running the race. That's a springboard. Second is about, you've seen, or you might have seen a word cloud, where there, all those kind of words when you talk about, when people think about your church, what are the positive words that come to mind? And it's like, and you have this word cloud, that all those words, and there's programs that can make them and things like that. We will talk about people in our lives, and they don't have to be, when we think about the cloud of witnesses, we think about those who have passed on, those who have died, and I don't think we necessarily even have to go that far. We can talk about all of the people that are important in our lives. Who are the ones that are important in your lives? And you can make a word cloud. So have a piece of poster board, cut that out into a cloud, and you all can write. You can ask, and in the children's sermon, write names, and it could be mom, yeah, dad, grandma Stevens, Ma, Pa, all of these names, friends, names of people that are the ones that you look to, the ones that have given you support, the cloud of witnesses that have pointed you to God. Maybe you start off talking about the ones that have lifted you up. For me, it would be my grandmother, Ma, who had all these conversations, and then later, all kinds of stuff, making a word cloud for the cloud of witnesses. So there's that. So two springboards for the second reading out of Hebrews. Now I'm looking also at the gospel lesson. So I do want to lift up that this is descriptive, not prescriptive, meaning that it explains what, or shows what can happen when you make a stand for Jesus. And it's not saying that this is going to be what happens. It's not, it could be a prophecy, but more in the point, it's descriptive, not prescriptive. Not that these things have to happen, but there are going to be times when one stands up for what Jesus calls us to do that might go against what others in our families close to us think or agree with. And partly of this going back to where in the early Christian church, and you had families that were still weren't practicing Christians. Either they were practicing in the Jewish faith or that, and at that point, when there was the decision that these Christians were enough different from us that they needed to go, and so there's that point of, like, when we stand up and when you've got points that you've got a family that says, if you speak against the Roman government, that could be in trouble, and we could be in trouble, so please don't do that. And Jesus calls us to lift up the vulnerable, the hungry, the poor, the imprisoned. Nothing like that is going on today. Anyway, so in that, looking at the descriptive, is there's points in our lives when standing up for what is right might be really hard. And that could be in a group of friends. It could be you got a group of friends that are bullying someone and that you stand up and say, we need to stop that. And all of a sudden in that spot, you're not very popular. It could be that, So I'm looking at a couple of things. One, in the past, in previous children's sermons, I talked about making a bag where you could rip something up, put it in the bag, and then you pull it out and it's all restored. And it's a bag with a false pocket. You can look up magic bag and find that. And when I describe it, it's around Easter time, I believe. There's also using barbecue twine, where you can find it at any grocery store in the cooking aisle. There's twine where you'd normally tie something up. And you can look up twine in the search engine and find that. The one I'm looking at today is this here. So we have an envelope, and I've got a card on it that I have put sin. I've put sin, the way, and you could put any word you want. I'm just using this as an example. So we've got sin and the ways that we mess up, the ways that I don't know. You've got a group of friends or your family that you got an uncle that is saying stuff that is not okay, and that could be broad, but we're family, and and so you have to go, do I stand up? Do I risk with this family meal? So, but I'm using sin because all of the ways that relationships get broken. Actually, I'm going to place it in like this. Place it into the envelope. Like that, as my familiar tremors kick in. So there we go. We've got placed in the envelope like that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually, the thing is that there are times that they get hard, and we might do something like sin, and we know that today we had confession and forgiveness, and when we confess our sins and when we say, God, I am sorry, help direct my feet and my mouth to do the right things, to say the right things, to act the right way, we realize when we take a look at that, we realize that we have been forgiven. We've been forgiven. Now, one of the things I was thinking about in this text when it talks about that there will be division in families, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be restoration in families and restoration in broken relationships, that can happen, and that we can still have restoration. It might not happen soon, it might not happen quickly, but I believe that they can happen. So we've got the forgiven. So we've got that. Now, very, very simple to do. All you need on this is you need 2 envelopes. You need 1 envelope and a glue stick. You're going to put an envelope where it's face up like that, and then you're going to glue a second envelope on it like that. So you have 1 envelope loaded, and the reason I use line paper. You could rip up a piece of paper and put it in there, but I like this, so I put the line paper because you can kind of see you can kind of see the lined paper through that. So you have this, and it's so that you can turn it over. It looks like that, and 2 envelopes glued together. You can get envelopes at the Dollar Tree. So we got the one here, but you've got it face like that. And I put the word. I've got that, and pull that out, and then talk about sin, the word, blah 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 blah. That's what I sound like sometimes. But then you place the word. Actually, let me do it the other way. And I like that too. I start to put it in here and I go, no, I want to hide. I hide my sin. You put it in there. So you've got a little bit of you see that, and this is what in the magic world we call a convincer. So this here, and it's kind of, you're just dropping it out of frame. So here, all I did, and it's easy to flip over because we also have another phrase, especially, it's funny because this is, we're talking about running the race, but don't run if you're not chased. That's in magic. We use that phrase because no one knows what you're going to do. No one knows you're doing a magic trick. You've got this here. You close this, and then you put this. I just drop this down like this, and it's basically it's facing me. You can drop it, and so you're holding it like this, or you place the card in here like that, and then as you drop down, you're just going to turn it over like this, and you're not even calling attention to it. So when I did it before, I said I put it in there. All right, so now, and then I lift it up, and that, now granted, I'm off frame. It's easy to do it when you're on video, but it's you've got the one in here now. So, and this is where misdirection, talk to a kid. So it's hard, isn't it? That there's times that we do things that aren't right, and then pull that up, and we can pull this out and show that it is forgiven, that we are forgiven. If you don't want to tie this in, if you want to use this and you don't want to tie it into the gospel lesson, this is one of those times where I say it's okay to step outside. It's okay to step outside of the text. You could actually do this all about, why do we do confession and forgiveness? Why do we? Because we mess up and we sin, and we need to come to our God and say, God, as a community, we have messed up. We need your forgiveness and we need your direction. So using this. So that is, there we are. And you want to glue, you can glue stick or double stick tape, but you want to make sure that it's fine, but it's easy. All right. That's it for this week. So thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You are rocking it. Thank you for your partnership in this ministry. I greatly appreciate you. All right. We will see you next week. Peace.